to talk about what it means to be a change leader. All of you are leaders, education leaders. But I think there's a mythology about leadership that we need to understand. The assumption, the mythology is you become a leader because you have more answers than anybody else. You have silver bullets, you have solutions. It turns out that's not really what change leadership is about. You know, I interviewed a CEO, a very successful CEO of a chain of businesses called Best Buy here in the US. I don't know if you have them in Canada. And I asked him what was the #1 obstacle to innovation in his company. He said, my senior managers. I said, why? He said, because they think they got to be senior managers because they're smarter than anybody else and they stopped listening. Now, in the education context, what I've come to understand is that the first job of a change leader in education is to help parents, teachers, and students understand the world we're living in, understand the things I've just been talking about, to be able to get on the balcony and help people see these shifts and patterns in the world and what it's going to take to thrive in work, in learning, and as active and informed citizens. So our first job, I believe, is to lead adults in a process of learning and discovery. And there are lots of ways to do this. You can, bring panels of employers in, you can interview employers and videotape them. You interview your recent graduates, ask them in what ways they were most and least well prepared, videotape that and bring it into your schools. You can show the film that you're all going to see this afternoon called Most Likely to Succeed, now being shown all over the world because it's a powerful film about the innovation era and what it means for us as educators and parents. But the point is to bring adults into the conversation and then to empower your teachers to, once you've framed the problems and challenges, to work together to find new solutions. The idea is that we as individual leaders, we're not going to solve any of these problems. We're not going to figure out what learning and teaching must become for the 21st century, not by ourselves. We first of all have to work together with peers, but we're also importantly going to have to empower educators to work in teams to find new solutions. Now, specifically, what I encourage is the idea of having an innovation fund in your schools or districts to which teams of teachers can apply. Now, it turns out the engine of innovation in companies is what we call R&D, research and development. There is no innovation without R&D. And companies invest anywhere between 5% and 20% into research and development for new products, new services, new processes, new ways of doing their work. We in education don't do R&D, sadly. Charter schools in the United States were supposed to be an engine of R&D, and a few of them are, but the vast majority are not. So we're going to have to talk about the need for R&D. We're going to have to, I think, fund R&D, maybe as a part of our professional development budget, but we're going to have to sort of challenge teams of teachers to come up with new forms of assessment that are more based on exhibitions of mastery, as you'll see in a moment in the video I'm going to show you, based on students having to present and defend their work, based on digital portfolios. I think every student should have a digital portfolio that is evidence of progressive mastery over time. And the technology to do this now is either inexpensive or free altogether. I think teachers are going to need time to figure this out, time to go visit other schools that are already doing this, to really think carefully about how to create an effective interdisciplinary course, to do new forms of assessment, and to put at the center of their work how to master the 4 of the 6 C's that I know you're familiar with from Michael Fullen. I consider, character education to be critical, but the 4 C's are about competencies: critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creative problem solving. I want to be able to walk into any class at any grade level in any given day and see those skills being taught and being assessed. And I think that's the next big challenge, is to sort of empower teachers to find better ways to do that. Now, this is not to say we don't teach content knowledge. Content knowledge still matters. It's the only way we teach these skills. They're not going to be taught in a vacuum. But skills in the innovation era matter more, and motivation matters most. Because if students are self-motivated, they will continuously learn new skills and new content knowledge throughout their lives, which indeed is a requirement for thriving in the innovation era, both as a learner, as a worker, and as a citizen.